PolycandylioN for lamps 6th or 7th century. Something is circulating around Mr. Torpedo and entertainment areas. The cologne has run out of your temple evaporating, refreshing your sense. She's eating vegetables with sex, and deprecha is clearly unlucky. You need a reset. Soon. Is a weak thread dangling your life? I can feel the hieroglyph in you, the weight advantage. Grazing or sneezing. He says. His armpits were unshaven. He wanted to sprinkle the shell. One spark from a Leiden bottle will temporarily make you fall for the moment. The priest takes testimony from his plenipotentiary, not understanding that at that moment, without feeling, the deeds penetrate and pour into the soul, or rather on that something cool that is hidden under the button of the surplice. God, or perhaps custom, tells us to forgive our enemies. Why then should he be otherwise? Worse, deal with those who love us. And yet, the priests loved Greta Garbo's daguerreotypes, a Philharmonic flautist from the mezzanine with antlers of the curls. Well, the secret powers of the administration have them stamped where St. Thomas Aquinas and the Egyptians of Eleusis have no access. A simple piece of paper with a stamp made the priest love each person, close and distant. Love and giving away ex officio make one understand these nightmares and choking and morning sweats, which have been tiring for many months, from the seal warrant. The sobering wind seemed completely natural. He began to accept only people who had been introduced to him in advance. This is the most sensitive spell. It is a good sign if the sick person visits the doctor. Especially since the memory has already returned to its place, showing chimeric distortions of the self. Cold self, because without passion. What little bird said the name of that dumbass to you? Church service, as usual. He crept from behind. A typical pacifist. dp.cs.dias. Kubaba, to whom fate gave his heels, rushed to the valley. Kubaba attacked the valley. Fate added to his heels and ordered him to tread firmly. If he can make it ashore, if he can fly over the valley, if the outspread wings of his flight envelop the air, and shadow the cities, and the fields, if... Tarek thought intensely about the day, and saw the monster's flabby nostrils just above him. They whistled with their piercing breath and devoured sediment, trees, cattle, houses, and people amidst the dust, and blizzard sand. Electricity covered the entire valley, and tormented the foreheads, and calves of the runners. It sparked on the roofs of buildings, and on the blades of masts. Dry air reached the larynx, cracked in front of his eyes instead of tears, twitched and mixed with the dust high up, then low again and stuffy close to the earth. Tarek was not moving. He knew it would be the same to hold his own breath and not run away. Here he looked at the screaming runners, who were running around the valley in all directions without a composition or order, trying to avoid fate. Oh, you wretched! Oh wretched 4 and 7 times! Oh wretched ones to the end of the valley and their fearful children! Tarek repeated the lamentation several times, but nothing happened to divert their fear, making their thoughts gentle and purifying their hearts. He touched the doorframe and found that the Anschlaglist, like a thin string, was still in place. The teacher's room was in harmony with the immaculate school air freshener and the shade of the blinds cutting the striped light. Tarek came to himself and muttered something under his breath. He straightened his chin and thought. This is another break, how many more? Helmut stares at me, and Pasquale stares at him. Collusion of overdone teas. So we remain silent. This is better than the senseless cluck of our colleagues. We don't have dreams, and those that were great, sorry, the ones that were once, flew away like bloated balloons. Unreachable and drifting. Helmut chews. I pretend to supervise those who run after the ball on the school playground through the window. Of ours through life? Nonsense. A fold in my stomach has long covered my ambitions and rested on my thighs. The old man got used to seeing me as a fitting piece of furniture. It's good. At least that's it. I sneak sideways down the corridor, so that no documents are knocked from under my armpit. Sometimes it fails. The girls are screaming. They are disgusting. And the quiet ones, even worse. I am a general and I feel like nobody. In the darkness of the school, the gods made me exist, so that the leaven of their words became flesh. I'm afraid. What? The thread is already spun. Nothing else can happen to me. Tarek bit his tongue as if something was stopping him from offending any or each of the gods. He mentioned how they dug it out of the rubble then. Yeah, dead Samson was smiling. Start at www.kubi.pl in 91 languages, in chapter TS001.